when I was 13. I discovered that my grandmother was functionally illiterate. We went to the bank, and at that time, literally you could sign an X on the signature line, and that was accepted as your signature. The clerk didn't respond to my grandmother in any way. She would just look at her. I told her, I said, I'm gonna teach you how to write your name. So we spent the whole summer literally practicing how to write her name. By the end of the summer, we went back to the Lakewood Bank. She writes her name, and the lady looked at her name, and she said, oh, thank you, Mrs. Rodriguez. We appreciate your business. And I'll never forget it, because my grandmother looked at me and she had this look of amazement, you know, like somebody now acknowledged her as a person. That truly, I think, was the beginning of when I started to see that if you reach out to somebody, you can change their lives. In '77, I became a teacher in the Dallas ISD. I was working with ESL seniors who wanted to go to college. And so we were running against the clock, because not only did they have to learn English, did they have to take the state test and pass it, we were trying to get them into higher education. You've done all the work to get them to college, and then you never know what little obstacle is going to be at the last minute that's going to impede somebody. There was a group of kids that told me, you know, Miss Bobadilla, there's no way I can get to campus. My parents don't have the money for a bus. I have a lot of friends, and I will tell you, thank God for friends, and thank God for friends who have connections. Because I had one friend who had a connection with Southwest Airlines, so we were able to get some kids on the Southwest Airlines and get them to campus. You know, you do what you have to do, because you can't let that be the last step in their journey that's going to keep them from going to college and fulfilling their dreams.
You know, you hear a lot of people talk about making a difference and that they believe in education. It's another thing for you to dedicate your life to it.
She is an ambassador for UTA is the best way that I can sort of describe her.
I'm really in charge of outreach in the Dallas area. So we do a lot of outreach with kids as early as the 6th grade.
So not only recruiting them, but retaining them at the university.
Also to make sure that we're offering opportunities as they go from the college to career pipeline, and how we can connect them with either internships or other opportunities, and just really making those connections for them.
Michele knows who to get together, and people know that if she calls, it's time to get together. Because results are going to happen, lives are going to be changed, program goals are going to be realized, both nonprofit, for-profit, and higher education alike.
Thanks in great part to the work that Michele has done, UT Arlington is now an Hispanic serving institution.
So it's critically important that all of us know our circle of influence, that how can we leverage this circle of influence to help others and to open doors of opportunity. Not asking for a handout again, asking for an opportunity, and then we have to rise to that occasion.
It is completely for a student. It is completely to make sure that somebody's dream somewhere that might have been mentioned becomes reality. She knows that they're going to have to make the efforts, but sometimes doors have to be opened, and that's what Michele does.
And I'm so grateful to have somebody in higher education receive this award, because it's very unlikely that we see them as heroes. You know, all of us have that one teacher that believed in us, that even when we didn't see it in ourselves, all of us have that one person that says, you know what, we see something in you that you can't even see in yourself. And that is what Michele is. She sees something in people that no one else can see, and it takes that special educator.
So many alumni now who are in our community who would not have been there, whose lives have been transformed because of what she's done.
When people ask me, what's your greatest accomplishment? My greatest accomplishment was that I was part of these journeys, and that I can look back and think, my God, you know, not only did we transform that one life through a diploma, it transformed that entire family. You're changing a family for generations just by getting that first diploma in someone's hands. And I'm telling you, the students I have met over my 41 years have risen to the occasion and are now giving back to their communities, which is fantastic and a beautiful thing to see.